Hey, good morning, everybody. So here I am. Trailhead's right over there. Buckshank Trail. Okay, and if you look behind me, you see that grassy edge up the top part. That's not where the bushwhack starts, but that's along the way, and it continues up to Silver Peak. But you do cross the Buckeye Trail at some point, about halfway in terms of the miles. Anyway, I didn't wimp out so far. Although my SI joint is really bothering me, and I really felt like, let's just do something easier. But I've had this bug in me since last November. Is it November yet? No, it's October 27th, I think, 27th. It's getting close. But I've had this bug inside of me because the last time I went up there, there was like 3 really super ambiguous areas, and I want to cut them so that they're no longer ambiguous. And then up towards the top, right before you summit and get onto the Silver Peak Trail, which is unmaintained and looks like shit too, but passable. There's about a quarter mile. I've got my sword with me. Hang on, I'll take another video and add it to this. So this is my sword. That's what I call my sword. It's a silky big boy saw, and I just got my date pack, and I've got 3 liters of water in a bladder, and then I've got a liter of lemonade, and then I've got 2 liters in here, but I'm going to drink 1 now. I'm going to wolf that down. And that's my gear for today. I also have some nippers in here, and I've got all my other accoutrement and my lunch, and then I've got a Costco special trekking pole. Those are so dirt cheap, you know. Anyway, so I'm going to get started, and when I get to the part where I'm starting to go off trail, which would be up on that ridge over there, and then you can't see it, it goes way up behind. Actually, it kind of, this part that's visual is not it. It keeps going up, but off in that direction over there. You just can't tell. That's like a little wing or a slide out from there. But when I get up to that point, I'll start taking a few more other videos. I do want to make note of the weather. Looks like it's starting to change, and the weather report shows rain later this week, and I believe it because it was red skies this morning. Sailors take warning. Alright, that's the Buckshank Trail there, continuing on in that direction. And I'm pointing this out just in case anybody wants to give this a try. This is the first sign that says Silver Peak Wilderness on the Buckshank Trail coming up from the ocean down there. If you come to that sign, you've gone too far. You gotta go back down a little bit, and then you see right there, you want to take this and side slope until you get to the top of the ridge. It's an animal track. It's very slippery, but that's the way up. Otherwise, you'll have to do a lot of trail work to get through all of this. Jeff and I did this years ago, where we just crashed through right here, and we went through, but it's way more grown now, and I don't want to do that. Last year I went that way, so just had to take off my wool mid layer and put on my my armor plating. It's just it's much slicker, and I'll be able to squeeze through some tight areas without it snagging on other clothing. All right, time to get suited back up here. So I've been hiking through stuff like that, bushwhacking. Now we get up to a nice, gentle, grassy slope. And right around the corner from here, if my memory's right, there's a really good area if you wanted to camp. It's just, it's beautiful. So mostly flat. Yeah, here it is. It's coming up. What do you think about this, huh? Look at, oh my God, there's toilet paper. Oh, jeez. Over there, over there, over there. I'll have to pick that up on my way back. This would be a nice little camp spot right here. The filtered ocean view. Huh? What do you think? Pretty nice, huh? Dang, man. Why do people do that? Guess I got some cleanup to do on my way back. Boy, that's really irritating. Alright, I'm not going to rant about that. I'll just clean it up. There's a bottle back there too. I didn't mention that. So let's see here. You have to go down. Down and around. See, this is really accessible, this area here. So it's understandable that low-hanging fruits, the kind that leave their trash out, would be here. We're going to start some more difficult climb real soon, and I don't know. I'll have to put the phone down so I can see where I'm going. I don't think I want to go side sloping through all that. It's up here somewhere. I know it is. Anyway, that's it. Oh, and here, look at this. One of the locals down there in that neighborhood, down there, that's Gorda Mountain, or Gorda, I don't remember the name, but they've got a sign down there, and that's a very small community, and one of them tapped a spring. I don't know where the spring is, but I want to find it sometime. And but then, you know, the animals, you know, they came and got, they clipped holes in it all over the place, and so it was a short-lasting thing. But I do want to find the spring. A hiker that I talked to some years ago, said that he found it, and he gave me a general idea, but it's out of the way. He said that it's let's see here, I'll get to where I can point. Look at that, somebody cut that. That might have been me. I might have cut those too. Okay, this one looks easier, but it's not going right on the ridge. Anyway, he said that it's in that bowl that is where you see all that lush forest area. He said it's over there, but we're going straight up. You see where those two silver pine or gray pines, or three gray pines are, those round top pines? Those are gray pines, but that's the namesake of Silver Peak Wilderness, because they look kind of silvery green when the sun shines on them. Anyway, that's where the Buckeye, that's the view end of the view trail, just off the Buckeye Trail, on the Buckeye Saddle. That's what they call it. Going to the left of the saddle, it goes down to, it's still Buckeye Trail, but it goes down to the Crookshank. And then we're going to cross that, and then we're going to keep going up, up, up to Silver Peak. All right, so I'm making a decent time so far. I'll talk to you later. Guys, you see this? That's bush PO. You see the dark, the sap came down. That's what happens with poison oak sap. You don't want that on your clothes. I mean, a lot of people just don't want it around them at all. But I cut this stuff, and I gotta tell you, you get some of that on your clothes, especially something yellow and nylon, it's a lifetime stain. You cannot wash it out. I just wanted to detail that because it's kind of interesting. So we're still heading up. Guys, you see those redwood trees? These are, okay, there's one more ridge. Over that ridge and over the, and down in that gully is called Redwood Gulch, and they are the southernmost redwoods. You know, natural. People are growing them in their yards, but as far as the natural spread of redwoods, this is the southernmost area where redwoods are. All right, back on the Buckshank ridge here, and soon, right around the corner up here, I just went through a lot of difficult areas, otherwise I would have made some videos. But you see up there, that's the Buckeye Saddle, and it's a slip and slide. Slip and slide, slip and slide, slip and slide through that grassy area. I'm almost up top. When I get up to the top of Buckeye Saddle, you won't be able to see this very easily. That's where I came down from. And if you look very closely along that the lowest hump, not the forested one, but the chaparral one, you can see some zigzags. That's the Crookshank Trail, and that's where I came from. Now, I'm in the final stretch here. It's literally right there. But, my goodness, I'm looking at this. I was going to go back this way, but I don't know, man. This is like one of those areas where I just get really freaked out. I had to be in spider mode or four-limb drive coming up this slope here. It's so steep. In the springtime, it's very slippery with the green grass. Just trust me on that. It wasn't so bad today. I didn't do too much slipping, but further down from there are a couple of sections where there's a pretty sizable drop off, and I just don't want to go skidding down my butt down all that, which I might be tempted to do here. This just freaks me out, this steepness right here, and especially you know, with it being grass and all. If you get started, you know, you're not going to stop very easily. Just made it. And this is the Buckeye. Well, I didn't make it to the top of Silver Peak. I just made it to the first major accomplishment, which is Buckeye Saddle. And this is the little view trail adjacent. It just pops off the edge. I'll take you up here. Oh, this is much easier. See, if I had been on a trail like this, I would have been up here maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes ago. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I tend to think I take longer than I really do, only because I have a hiking buddy that is faster than me. But bear in mind that even though I'm 60 and currently debilitated with my SI joint. I'm still a heck of a lot faster than the average hiker. I'm not saying that to boast. It's just that I tend to think I'm like dirt slow, and I'm not. So we'll look at the time in a minute. I'll show you the Buckeye Trail. Actually, you can just start to see some of it coming down over there. That little flat spot where there's dirt. So that's the Buckeye Trail, and then it veers off to the left over here down this slope. And I'm not sure, but you know, that's a very strenuous bushwhack getting up here. So I'm not really sure, but I think if I had been on the Crookshank Trail and then taken the Buckeye Trail, that I would still be faster coming this way, I think. Even though it's longer going down the Buckeye and the Crookshank. You know, when I come back, I'm going to be coming back to this point here, and I don't know, I just don't feel like I want to go back down that slope that I went up. That's one of those ones for me that I'll go up, but if I have to go down, it's going to just freak me out too much. So here's where the trail turns left. So the Buckeye goes off to the right and then off to the left. And then that goes down into Crookshank. And man, it's a really beautiful hike going down that way. You know, come to think of it, I think I'm going to go back that way. Even though it's longer in miles, I probably won't get injured. And the Buckshank Trail, if you can call it a trail, we're on the edge of the ridge here, but it starts like literally right around the corner here. And then once I get to the top of Silver Peak, then that'll be the halfway point in my hike today. But I have to do all that cutting, so I just don't know. Let's take a look at the time and see, you know, how much time I got. I tend to think like I'm already at lunchtime. That's what's going through my head, but probably not. So oh wow, did you see that hawk? That was amazing. Crossed right in front of me. Red-tailed hawk, which also has red feathers on the underside of its wings. So the Buckshank Ridge Bushwhack, I think it starts right over there. Oh wait, no, it's right here. Yeah. Now this does show up on Gaia. That's where it starts. It goes all the way up. A lot of people call this the Buckshank, and a lot of people don't ever consider doing what I did back there. And so when I say I did the Buckshank Trail, they think I started here. And I don't think I know any hikers at all, except for that one guy who went on that trail behind me. All right, well, that's it for now. Well, I've had some uncomfortable moments here, and it just keeps continuing. So I got a question for you male hikers. Do you ever, when you're crawling through the bush, do you ever get a bad case of sticky balls? Okay, this takes a little show and tell. You see all those guys right there? They're sticky balls, and they do not want to come off. They're sticky, sticky, sticky. Oh, what did you think I meant? Did you think I meant something else? Up the first little hump. Look at this view, huh? That's something else. Next stop, China. At this altitude or latitude. Now, compared to where I've been, this is pleasure. There's a few places that are pretty nasty, but most of it is pretty good. Gosh, well, I got off the trail. Well, wet trail. I mean, it's pretty bad, pretty nasty. I'm in a section right now where I think I've been before, but it's way down off the ridge. The ridge is up there, and I got to get back on it because that's where the trail is, or that's where the route is. It was pretty nasty where I went through. I don't even know if I want to go back that way. It's a lot of young growth chamise mostly, and I got it like all, oh, it's in my shirt, it's down my pants, it's uncomfortable, and I'm already scraped up, so I'm not even sure if I want to. Well, I'm going to have to either go forward or go back, and I don't want to go back. Seriously, it was pretty nasty, and I think that I've bitten off more than I can chew today. So I think maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to summit Silver Peak, and then I'm going to go. It's a long hike that way, and then I'm going to go back up to the Buckshank from there, up near Lion Den. It's a long hike, but I don't think I'll get any more cut up that way. I'm bloody already. That's what I didn't want. Okay, guys. I think I made a mistake today. Man. Okay, last year it was tight, but it wasn't as tight as it was this year. This year, this year it's quite a bit more daunting, and it's I think it's like 11, maybe 11:30, 11:45. I got 300 feet of elevation, 320, something like that, and 0.4 miles. If I turn around right now, I'm going to get more bloody than I am already. If I keep going forward, I'm going to have to do a lot of trail work. And then I'm going to be left with the stuff that's behind me, or in front of me right now. The way I'm aimed, I'm sitting here in the shade. Oh, man. So I'm not happy with myself. What was I thinking? Okay, I'm going to do this the least painful way. There's another trail that goes down to the Buckeye Trail. It's called the Soda Trail, I think. Or it's not a trail, but Like I think about like March of this last year, March, April, May, somewhere in there. A friend of mine, his name is Carlton, and he's a pretty hot damn great hiker. I enjoy hiking with him. I've taken some videos with him. We always have a lot of fun while we're hiking. It's a lot of laughing and joking. And anyway, he said that he went up to Silver Peak from on the Soda Trail, and I says, "Are you sure?" Because when I at the top, and I'll show you when we get to the top, it's so ambiguous. It looks like there's no trail at all, and so I made the assumption that that it's hosed the whole way down. Now, I've never been on that trail, so I don't really know from history, you know, if it's a good route or not. But in the fairness of my body, and I don't want to get stuck out here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to opt to go up to, as soon as I summit, then I'm going to continue on in the Silver Peak Trail, and I'm going to go up to the top side of Crookshank Trail, and then go all the way back down on the Crookshank Trail. Now that's a long hike. It's way longer than any of these other alternatives. It's way longer than turning back and going back, but it's also faster, so I don't know. And except for one landslide area, I think there's like no real possible way for me to get injured, or further injured, unless if there's something new. There's this one landslide area which it's near Silver Public Camp, and it's one of the creek areas that I think goes down to the Soda Springs. I think it's part of Soda Springs, which is not to be confused with the Soda Camp or whatever, which is just up from Buckeye. I mean, maybe it is. I don't. Maybe it's a different creek. I don't know. My voice is almost gone. I've been breathing a lot of. I've been having like to blow my nose quite a bit, and my voice is almost gone because I had to breathe through my mouth quite a bit, and it's really dusty, and the chemise. I know I've breathed in some of that. The dusty, the flowers. Okay, I'll show you some. Later on when I come across some, I'll show you what chemise is. It's a member of the rose family. The flowers are like almost microscopic. I mean, they're really, really tiny, but they are a rose. And it's and there's just like a cajillion of them. It's like littered with tons and tons and tons and tons of flowers, and they stay pretty much on the bush until you brush up against them, and then they all come off, and they carry with them a lot of dust, and it's gotten into my throat. And I haven't really been drinking a lot, so that's another thing too. So anyway, I'm gonna stop complaining, and I just took this break because I was really knackered. I'm like, oh, I can't even take another step. I think this was like a worse trip than last year. Absolutely it was, because I don't have to stop like this, but I do now, because I've had to fight through so much, and then I got off the route maybe about 4 times, and then to get back on, I have to climb like straight up to the ridge, and it's usually in an area where there's like nothing passable, and had to climb through a lot of bush and stuff. So I'm pretty well worn out already, but anyway, when I get to the top, it's going to be celebration time. All right, I'll see you guys later. Oh, finally made it. Now on the Silver Peak Trail. Silver Peak's right over there. I'll go sign the registry. This is the continuation of this trail, and I don't know what state it's in, but if it's anything at all like if it's anything at all like what I came up, I don't want to go down that. It's an unknown to me. I've never been on it. It swings around over there to that high spot. It's almost as long. I mean, it's not almost as long, but it's long. And there's elevation climb on that too. When you get back to the Buckeye Trail, you got more climb to do. Buckeye Trail's kind of up and down. So there's some of my stuff. There's more. That's what's exposed. Good golly. What a hike. I was more than I really should have. Let me throw this stuff down. Zoom. Excuse me. You see that over there? All that grassy area? That's Bald Top Ridge. You can't see Bald Top. Oops, sorry. You can't see Bald Top itself. Let me get my trekking pole. But it's in that direction over there. And then beyond that peak over there, that high point, that's called Pine Top. That's on Hearst Ranch. Oh. Praise cheeses. I don't eat cheese anymore. I finally made it to this trail. Oops. I get so confused with this zoom thing. Try to figure out how to use it, but it's like as soon as I squeeze it, it goes out again. I don't know what. Okay, no complaints. I'm bruised and bloodied again, but I think I'm going to go back the way that is least injury prone, because 2024, my goal was to be injury free on my hikes, and it's now October 29th and I made it this far, but I'm pretty well scraped up. I got some more exposed areas, but there's more up this arm. And then I think I got it on the legs too, and my stomach. Okay, I nearly forgot I was going to show you chemise. So this is chemise, folks. And watch. Well, it's kind of hard to tell with, you brush up against it and all those little flowers fall off. And when they fall off, they also, look at how small they are. When they fall off, they also turn into dust, or there's a good amount of dustiness to them, and I've been breathing that in. Anyway, that's chemise, member of the rose family. Silver Peak. I got new rips in my clothes. Might have to abandon this jacket soon. It's pretty nasty. Pretty nice panorama. There's Coast Ridge Road over there, and I can see Alder Peak, which is a little taller than Silver Peak, and it's still in the Silver Peak Wilderness. And there's the trail down there. This is an offshoot, by the way. And then that's Lion Den, or Lion Den. That's Lion Peak, that red one. And Star Point. Oh wow, I can see some of the stuff we cut. Totally. I see 2950 Ridge. Wow. So the Star Point Trail is in that direction there. But we haven't cut that part right there. That middle part. We've only cut from the Coast Ridge down to a certain place, like a high spot. I think I see it. And then from there down, we haven't cut between there and this ridge right here. But you can see, I can see the 2950 ridge. And we're at 3527 right here. So here we are. I'll show you. I made it. Here's Silver Peak. And here's the registry, and I'm going to sign that now. Found me some shade, and I'm going to eat my lunch now. So when I looked at the trail registry, there weren't a whole lot of entries for this last year. I didn't have to go back very far to find my last year entry, and I read it. I said, at the time, I said, I will never do that ever again. Unless if I came with a whole crew. Why don't I remember those things? Because really that's some very useful information. Anyway, I'm never going to go do that again by myself until it's completely cleared up. Now, this part I'm going to definitely thank whoever did this, but there was somebody, maybe it's the people that left all the toilet paper down there, but they did a lot of clearing on the lower Buckshank, the good kind. Like they got down to the ground and they sawed off entire bushes. And so that was a really nice thing. And I thought, hey, maybe they went all the way up to Silver Peak, and then this will be more of a pleasure hike. But no, they did not. They actually didn't even make it up to Buckeye Saddle. I can tell you that as a fact. So maybe they were just hunters, and they were like, or maybe they're going to come back. I don't know, but maybe it was one person, maybe it was a whole crew. It's probably a whole crew because it was like a lot of cutting. I don't see one person doing that much. Anyway, it's funny. I'm just making a comment now about, you know, when you go through something and at the time you go, I'm never going to do that again. And then you give it some time, and this thing's been bugging me for a whole year. I've been like, you know, I really want to get this thing done. I want to get it done because I want it to be completely wide open. To be honest with you, what I want is I want to turn it into a route for backpacking, which, well, you know, I was going to do that over a year ago. I had planned a backpacking trip by myself, and I was going to go do it. And I'm so grateful that I didn't even attempt it, because I would have gotten up to a certain point, and then I would have gotten into the first problem areas, and I'd be like, oh, let's just go ahead and push through, and then I'd be like in a troublesome place. And I'm glad I didn't do that. Actually, what I'd like to do is I'd like to have an alternate way down from Lion Den. something where I'm not going to run into anybody at all. But given the number of cars at the trailhead, I don't think I'm going to run into a single person on the way back to my car. Unless if there's more people that have shown up since, which is probably the case. This is a somewhat popular trail, especially up to Via Creek. That's a nice place, but I don't like the sound of roaring water. But for lunchtime, it's great. It's a very closed-in camp. It's hard to get a lot of people in there. It's all redwoods and hard to find a good hammock spot there. Alright, I'm going to finish eating my lunch. Stop making the crunching noises. Mind my manners. And I'll take some more videos on the way back so you can see the beauty of these regular trails. Maybe not the, well, I'll take a video of the Silver Peak Trail too, but it's severely overgrown and it needs to be cut too. But it's not so bad that you can't squeeze through. Most of the areas that are super tight, most of them are manzanita, and that's generally injury-free. You can just slide through that, but it's the chamise and the ceanothus that is just the deal killer. You see, look, I got that just totally, that happened today. I probably have more. I just haven't taken my jacket off. Anyway, that's it for now. See, the Silver Peak Trail is needs a lot of work too. But there are a lot of open areas. If the whole thing was like that, I think that nobody would be going there, to be honest. There's a lot of areas though that need a lot of attention. Thing is this is an offshoot trail. It's not a through hike trail. So chances of the VWA coming in here and clearing it is pretty minimal. Well, little ups and downs, but mainly down. And then when we hit the Buckshank Trail, I believe it'll be just downhill the whole, one small area near Silver Camp. One small area that's uphill. The rest of it is downhills, which is be nice. It's weird. When I was in the shade, the wind started kicking up. It was feeling pretty chilly, so I put my wool mid layer back on, but now the sun has more clearing and it's starting to feel a little warm. I think I'm gonna leave it on though. Because it breathes better than a nylon windbreaker for sure. Alright, that's it for now. This is Sergeant Cypress, guys. These ones are nice and tall. There's a grove. I mean, I know we're getting close to the Buckshank Trail because there's a lot of them down there on the side. we'll meet up to it. And they're stunted. Now, one thing I wanted to say about Sergeant Cypress is they are, they're very unique. They can grow in very poor quality, like no soil at all. They can grow in rocks. And over a long period of time, they're what you call a pioneer plant or a pioneer tree. So over a long period of time, the duff that falls off, all of the needles or leaves, I don't know what you call them. They're needle-like, but they're also leaf-like. You see, they're both cases. They're like scaly leaves. They when they die and fall off, the duff collects and creates soil, and then other plants will start growing. So they're a pioneer plant. That's for you permaculture fans. You understand the word pioneer plant or pioneer tree. So it's likely that all of that soil there that you see, all of it, that all came from Sergeant Cypress. You see? And it's pretty deep too. So that rots and then becomes dirt, which other plants will use for their roots. But they can totally exist in very poor quality, like rocks. And by the way, I took one of these, pretty one. See this green? So these are high chromium content. They're greenstone, but with a high chromium content. And you can tell when you come across one in the sun and it shines back at you, or when it's wet, it's super slippery. And that's the chromium in it. And it's so, the chromium is so available for processing that there were a lot of chromium mines in the Santa Lucia Mountains and in the Irish Hills too, which has a similar rock content. Okay, where are we going? Is this the right way? I don't think this is the right way. Maybe. Doesn't look trodden. Yep, and I gotta climb back up, it looks like. Okay, that's it for now. Finally, at the Silver Peak Crookshank Junction. That's where I came from, over there. That goes to Lion Den Camp. And this goes to home. And it's about, I don't know, 6 or 7 mile back. The first part here is a little rocky, but the Crookshank Trail is, I think, a little bit better than the Salmon Creek Trail in terms of rocks. I think it's a little bit more dirt path. And here's all of these Sergeant Cypress trees. There's a whole ton of them. And up ahead there's going to be a whole bunch of stunted ones, all growing right next to each other. Yeah, Sergeant Cypress. That's it. I'll hook up with you a little bit later, show you some of the beauty of this trail. just stopped here for a second just to show you. End of season poison oak is gosh dang beautiful. Mixes onto the greenery on the trail and just yeah, it's beautiful. You can look but don't touch. Apparently, end of season, the oils are more available on the surface. I'll go around instead of stooping. Stooping causes my SI joint to flare up. There's been a lot of deadfalls actually, both on the Silver Peak Trail and here's one here. I'm going to have to stoop. Lovely. Sitting down, taking a little break because I had a little spill up there. Yeah, and good golly, my SI joints are just, well, on this time it was my right SI joint, which is the one that has got the quote-unquote arthritis in it. I recovered. I didn't fall. I slipped, and my reaction yeah. So here I am, just taking a little break. Got about 3.5 miles left to the car. I'm still sitting. While I'm sitting, I'll show you my pretty rock. Nice crystalline structure. This chromium. Now, it shows a rust color there, but that's only from dirt. This is a solid greenstone. And boy, this thing is heavy. But I picked it up because of this and the crystalline structure. It's going to be real beautiful. I'll get it home and I'll get it all cleaned up. I'll scrub it. Scrub the rust stuff off. Oh. Too bad I don't have a lapidary equipment set up. And I would make that completely flat on the bottom and then use it as and I would just set it up as a natural sculpture. No need to do anything to this. It's beautiful the way it is, but it won't stand up by itself. Right now it teeters over. I just made Facebook friends with somebody with a lapidary. Maybe I could have her do that. I'll ask. Ship it to her and then have her flatten off the bottom and then ship it back to me. Pay her for her time and her abrasives. Yeah. It'd be cool. Might be worth it. It's beautiful. Redwoods again. Finally. That means we're getting, oh wow, look at these. These are big trees. Means we're getting close to Upper Crookshank camp. Look at these massive guys. I mean, they're not that massive by comparison to the ones up in Northern California, but they're big trees. Even these little ones here. Bigger than any other tree. And I found out, like, I don't know, sometime in the last, 10, 20 years, that Redwood Grove is really just one tree. They're all clones. They form a root structure and then up pops another redwood. That's how they they like to be that way because they want all the roots to be interlinked because they're so damn tall. They need extra wind protection. Now here we've got a spruce tree intermixed. And if that spruce tree was as big as those redwoods up there, then I would say let's cut it down and make a guitar. Yep, here's the Crookshank and Buckeye Trail intersection. So, Highway 1, Buckeye Trail. Well, that's kind of pretty. I think I'll take a picture. Still on the Crookshank, and we're getting close. That's the ridge that I went up, but on this side is heavily forested. The other side is the southern exposure is southern exposed, much drier and very grassy. My feet are really hurting, but it's like, I think it's like 4:45, maybe 5 o'clock. And honestly, I just want to get back to the car. I've got a couple of options on my way back. I want to get some food in me. One option is pretty unhealthy. Absolutely unhealthy. That would be an order of steak fries over at Ragged Inn, the outdoor cafe part. But that's the closest. And then the next closest is Taco Temple with their I don't know what they call it, but it's a veggie salad. But it's got all kinds of stuff in it that's, I don't want to order it if I have to pay for all that other stuff, like cheese. I don't know why do people consider cheese vegetarian? Cheese and butter and eggs. It's a load of hogwash if you ask me. There's nothing vegetable about it. Yeah, I know people are like, well, vegetarian means just no meat. And then you have some people that call themselves vegetarian, but they eat fish. It's a destroyed word. It doesn't really mean vegetarian. It means just no chicken, pork, beef. That's it. That's all it means. So, that's the end of my rant for now. We're getting really, really close here to the turnabout where we'll be in the final switchbacks. And oh, the third choice is Taco Smell. Has a veggie bowl. But here's the thing. It's like $8.50 or something like that. Now it's got some winners in it. It's got black beans. I don't really like black beans, to be honest. I like pinto beans. But it's got black beans, cabbage, tomato, salsa, or pico de gallo, which doesn't mean it's any bit of spicy at all. Rice. Rice is bad. But on a day like today, because the nearest Taco Smell is about 30 minutes from home, 20 minutes from home. It's in Morro Bay. So, I don't know. I should probably just wait. However, I'll probably be home like around 6, and that's like way after my normal dinner. But I need something. I could go home and fix myself one of my salads. Yeah, that actually sounds really, really, really good. If it was sitting in front of me, I wouldn't even think about anything else. But that's not the case. So anyway, thank you very much for staying with me and listening to all my rants. And no, I'm not vegan because I wear leather. I'm not into it for the animals. I'm sorry, you vegan people, you crazy vegans. Nobody wants to be called vegan who just has a plant-based diet. And that's what I am. I'm plant-based. The original vegetarian. Alright, that's enough. I don't want to be a vegan. You know, vegans are so annoying. They really are. I'm sorry to say that if you're vegan, you're annoying. Really, you are. People don't want to hear it. Okay, that's it. Excuse me for making fun of you vegans. Okay. Final stretch. Nice view. I'll let you look at it while I look at the trail. Here comes another switchback. My feet are killing me. Although I'm not dead. But still, you know, it's a saying. Wow. What a day. That was exhausting. My feet hurt. I came home injured. Not too bad, actually. I checked myself out at lunch, took my shirt off, and I'm okay. Clothes do a lot to protect you. But I am injured on my forearms and my wrists. Got bruises and scrapes. I haven't looked at my legs though. They might be also. I had some real severe. Oh, this breaks my SI. Oh, I know, that's pretty sad, isn't it? I can't handle the drop, and then yeah, I'm just not strong enough yet. Got more physical therapy to go. Well guys, I think this is going to be a wrap up for my hike, because literally my car is down there in that grove of trees that you see. That white truck just passed by, and now here comes another car going to the right, another truck. That's where my car is, so we're really close back, close to the end here. So hope you all have a very nice day, and get out and go hiking. That's my suggestion. I'm 60 years old and I'm doing stuff that most people don't do, but more pointedly, the youth of our country, most of them don't do this kind of stuff. And I don't know why, because this is very enjoyable, even though I'm kind of beat up. Alright, stay healthy.